So, first things first, I just wanted to quickly give out an introduction to what Jacinto Convit World Organization is. So, it's a U.S. non-governmental organization. So, what I find really amazing about this organization is their goals. At the same time, the philosophy behind the things that they do, because I've been reading on the history of the organization as well as the philosophy of the organization as well. And I find it amazing that Dr. Convit, which is the founder of the organization, has the humanistic approach when it comes to, when it comes to his work. So basically, he would want to care for patient as a human being. And quite honestly, it's very rare to see that, especially in healthcare nowadays. Because healthcare nowadays, as I see it, or where I am right now, it's like a huge money making industry or money making business. So it's really rare to see someone with great devotion as to their work as well. Like his primary goals are to cure those most feared diseases like leprosy and cancer, and he really did all that he can. He devoted his entire life into this organization that it is now. And that's what I find amazing. And GCWO, again, its main focus is on cancer research and diagnostic, with two main programs like cancer immunotherapy and molecular diagnostics. So as I mentioned, what really stuck with me is the goals of the organization. So the first goal that you have is to execute clinical trials using Dr. Convit's immunotherapy or Convit-Vax, with the aim of making this immunotherapy available as a standard sole treatment or in combination with other therapies as well. To build collaborative networks with international organizations, hospitals, academia, and multilaterals to perform and help sustain the execution of clinical trials for further scientific research. And for me, these goals are really amazing as well, especially the second one. I think it's really, really important as well to collaborate with certain networks like international organization, hospitals, and even the academia to make sure that whatever work that Dr. Convit has started will not be in vain, because everyone needs supports, and no one can stand alone. So finding an organization or hospital or just an individual that has the same goal as you can be really beneficial, because that way you work together. It's always better to work as a team than to work alone. That way, you can help as many people as possible. So that's two of the goals. Other goals are to support the expansion of a cost-free molecular diagnostic service for cancer in Latin American region. I really do hope that the organization will grow bigger as well, that it may reach other places that you really do need these type of help. Especially, I'm from Asia, I'm from the Philippines, and these specific things are something that we do need, and I believe most Asian countries as well do need this type of services. So I do wish that the organization will uh, grow eventually and would reach out certain areas that really needs help as well. Other goals that you have is to create high social impact in developing countries by giving access to cancer-related health services and treatments to underprivileged patients, especially in places where public health conditions are highly deficient. And as I've mentioned before, this specific goals that you have is really noble, honestly, because giving out these type of services is not cheap. These are pretty expensive. This is pretty costly, and giving out these cares for underprivileged individuals is really noble, and not really a lot of organizations are doing this. So my whole support is really with the organization for the goals that you have. Also, serve as a platform to preserve, promote, and continue Dr. Convid's legacy through scientific, educational, and social program. I think it would be really great as well to to promote the organization as as well as possible. That way we can reach as many individuals as possible as well, because I know the organization has does not really have a huge reach for now. It may reach several individuals in Latin America, in the US, but it's not, it's not something that's known in other parts of the world. And I believe that with the goals that you have and with the philosophy that's backing you up with Dr. Convit's ideals, it's a platform, or it's an organization that has a really great, great vision, it's really great purpose. And it would be great if other countries or other individuals would know that the organization existed. And hopefully, in the next few years to come, you will have different branches from all over the world. That would be really amazing to see. The program. So for the programs, we have three distinct programs. First is the cancer immunotherapy, molecular diagnostics, as I've mentioned before, an internship, which I'm part of. So for the cancer immunotherapy, I'm gonna be very honest. This is something that I'm not too familiar with. That's because it's not really part of the thing that I study, but I try to look for a few information online and do a bit of a research. Just a few information. So this program seeks to make Dr. Convit's breast cancer immunotherapy a standard low-cost treatment option for patients. I know that breast cancer therapy can be very expensive, but that's based on experience because my aunt is actually suffering from one. She was diagnosed, I think the last time that we've checked, it's already on stage 4. And we've been to different hospitals as well. The cost is something that is very difficult for us to continue with the treatment, because again, it's very, very expensive. That is why the organization really came close to my heart, because it's something very personal, and I can only imagine if this type of organization is available in the country, then there will be a lot of a lot of people that would benefit from the organization, and you would be able to help a lot of different individuals from different walks of life. So through and through partnerships with like research and health centers, GCWO works to advance its clinical trials in the US, South America, and Europe using convert packs. So hopefully you'll be able to reach out Asia and Africa as well, and hopefully if it will grow up. So what I like about this program though is that you direct your efforts to develop like accessible immunotherapy protocols that can be affordable for underprivileged patients who lacks the possibility of entering new innovative treatments. So developing something that is both, that's both affordable and really working well is, I think, really amazing. And there should be more funding towards creating things like this. Hopefully we can have that one sooner, or I don't know if there are already other partners that are in works with you guys, but my hope is a lot of organization would continue help you out with the funding. That way you can reach as many people as possible. Molecular diagnostics. So the purpose of this program is to contribute to a better healthcare system in developing countries where health conditions are highly deficient. The molecular diagnostic is a program that performs a unique service in the region that provides a free cost, early, precise, and personalized diagnostic service for various types of cancers and infectious diseases, mainly HIV for children, and adults treated in public hospitals. So MD, I feel like is really highly relevant, especially nowadays. Getting a diagnostic, especially for HIV, is something not very common in other countries, especially in Asian countries, and I feel like in African countries as well. Mainly talking about HIV in general or getting the right information is still a taboo in many countries. Not a lot of people is actually talking about it. It's still actually being treated as something that it was treated in the past. It's like, when you talk about HIV, it's like the person is automatically contagious without getting the right information. I feel like getting MD at a low cost or even free would be really, really helpful, and providing out the right information as well to a lot of people, understanding what the disease is all about, how it can be contagious, how you can get it, how you can avoid it, is really, really helpful, especially for children and for those that doesn't really have the means to get the information. So this specific program, I feel like is really relevant and noble as well, and hopefully it can reach out as many people as possible. Then lastly is the internship, which is, you offer proactive students the opportunity to learn new skills and participate in highly challenging projects. Honestly, when I first submitted my application as an intern in the organization, I did not really expect to get into the organization. I did not even expect that somebody would respond because it's far away, it's online, and I don't really know how it would work. But with your help and with your support, it it was kind of easy for me. The transition, and I know with the time difference, it has never been like a hurdle between the both of us working together, which I find really amazing. So, what are the tasks that I have as an intern? So first and foremost, we did work together hand in hand in identifying which are the topics that would be suitable for the organization. And what I'm really, really thankful for is that you have actually given me the opportunity to be just myself, to focus on the topics that I'm more like more interested into, and relevant to what I study as well, which is really, really amazing. Like getting the freedom to be yourself, and you know studying the things that you wanted. I feel like is something that's very rare as well, especially if you're doing it interns, because a lot of my fellow classmates that have been doing their interning or have been doing interns in other companies, they they are actually, I'm not gonna say forced, but they have to follow certain guidelines and regulations. So they have to focus on specific topics that are provided to them, which I find, the experience that I have with Ascendo Convert really amazing, is because I have the freedom to be just myself, and I have the opportunity to do work that I love, and that's just really amazing. So first thing that we do, of course, we identify which topics are relevant and useful for the organization, um, using a wide range of tools to acquire different information relevant to the organization. So I do research, I do use several tools for the research in order for us to acquire the necessary information. Then we organize a variety of information relevant to the topic that has been chosen. After that, I gather all the information, organize the data that I collected. That way, we can come up with a simpler article that can easily be understood by the readers. I then send the article to you. You would then give me feedback. And what I find about the feedback, though, is that it's really informative. At the same time, it's really constructive as well. It's like you've read the article and then you've given it new life. That's what I thought every time you send the article back to me, and I just automatically realized that, yeah, this is something that I've missed. This is something that I have not really looked into, and I'm happy that you were able to see that. It's like, there are certain things that I did not really notice that you've noticed, and then you made the article as better as it can be, which is really amazing. And then the last part is editing the article, then submitting it back to you. Um, then, of course, I've created survey questionnaires for patients. Now, creating a survey questionnaire for patients is something that is really dear to me as well, because I feel like not a lot of hospitals and not a lot of clinics actually do this, which I feel is really, really important as well, because understanding the patient's like mental well-being while after they have been they have been diagnosed and while on treatment is very important. First and foremost, after they've been diagnosed that they have cancer or whatnot, it's like a huge change for them. It's a huge change for their life. They're now dealing with this disease that may possibly end their life. There's a lot of there's a lot of things that they need to think about, like the cost, how their family is gonna react, what are they gonna do? Are they still gonna be hopeful that they will be around for a long time? So there's a lot of things that needs to be considered, and it's like a shock for a specific individual, and not getting that specific support or not getting like the assessment for them to at least express themselves, like what worries them the most, what are their concerns, what are the anxieties that they feel. I think that's something that most of the hospitals and clinics have missed, because most of the time they just advise the patient that this is what you're dealing with, this is what we can do, without really understanding their mental well-being or their psychological well-being. So this would really be helpful. And at the same time, having the questionnaires as well while they are on therapy, like how do they feel while they're on therapy, do they feel it working, is it helpful for them, are they hopeful that it's going to work, how are they handling the financial situations, those kind of things should be considered as well, when talking to patient, not just the medical aspect, but also understanding their current situation, the situation that they have in their family and in their community as well, is really, really helpful. And in fact, there are several research as well that I found that having like a counselor or a registered licensed psychologist talk to the patient while on therapy is really, really helpful. They've actually they've actually improved their situation, so they have become more hopeful, and in turn it has improved their health conditions as well. So part of my recommendation is still on the same line, is that create a survey questionnaire for a different set of patients, such as women and children. So creating a specific set of questionnaire that targets a specific set of patients. So if you're dealing with children with leprosy or women with breast cancer, we should have a specific set of questionnaire targeting them in order for us to assess their current situation. What are the needs that they deem necessary at this specific time, how can we help them properly, um, do they have any concern with regards to financial support, and what are the organizations that they can reach out for financial support. I feel like those are really, really helpful. And of course, if we are creating the survey questionnaires for women and children, I feel like it's also beneficial to speak with the family members surrounding the patient. So understanding how the family is also dealing with the situation is gonna be very helpful, especially for those cases that because there are percentage of patients that would not really be able to survive at all. Like there are patients that their days are numbered. So it's also beneficial to speak with the family members. That way we can understand what's going through their mind, how do they feel, and how are they dealing with the information that have been given to them. Um, Lastly is if we can, or if it's something that we can afford, it would be better to have a designated counselor or registered psychologist to talk to the patient after the patient are informed of their situation and while on treatment. So as I've mentioned earlier, it's really, really helpful because there are several research backing up this specific information that talking to a counselor or a registered psychologist while on treatment really improves the mental well-being and in turn the overall well-being of the patient. They become more optimistic and therefore helping them out with their health conditions, and they actually recover pretty well. They, just because their mental well-being are being taken care of. So those are actually just the suggestions or the recommendations that I have. But it's been it's been a great journey working with you and with the organization for the past few months.